Line up, you fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The Moneyline.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Moneyline. We are live talking UFC Perth. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy Mike Finch. What's happening, big dog?
Got to do social media for Lights Out. Shout out to Sean Merriman for bringing me on the team. I am running the social pages for Lights Out Extreme Fighting. We had Tyrell Fortune taking on the second Dennis brother, Demario Dennis, and then also Jake Baby and Saad Ul Hassan. Some dope pro fights. AJ out of 11 fights, 10 finishes. I showed AJ the blood that I got on my laptop, on this laptop right here, and I noticed right before we went live, I didn't finish cleaning all of it, bro. That key is still fucked up. So I gotta wash my hands over here, AJ. I gotta be safe.
Listen, you are blessed that you're at a promotion that probably does some proper blood testing and medical checks. You know what I'm saying? We're not risking that too crazy. Shit, I think you'd be all right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. You're back on business with the in-person stuff. You did it with XFO. This is the Finchman 3.0, you know?
That's
fucking disgusting,
folks. Yeah, it's pretty gross.
That's
right?
pretty gross, dude. Yeah.
So
that's the
glad to be working for promotions again, man. All of a sudden, XFO calls me. I'm back doing commentary with XFO. Fucking Lights Out calls me. The Bellator people, they bring me into Lights Out. This is great.
I'm telling you, man. You and I, Lights Out, something. I don't know. They have a random event. They need something different.
Make a show. Like we did for bare knuckle fighting championships. AJ and I just made up a show, and they
that's what they want. Fuck it, yeah. Listen, there's magic happening with us.
You want something to happen in the world, you make it happen, folks. All right. I was a high school student, and the pizza was terrible, and everybody would bitch about how bad the pizza is. It tastes like cardboard. So I wrote a fucking article in the newspaper roasting the pizza. I interviewed students and everything, and guess what? They changed the fucking pizza. If you want something to change, go make it happen.
Let's go, Mike Finch. Big W to the Finch, man. Pizza Finch up in this fucking bitch over here. Pizzagate, man. We got a good card this week. You excited for it?
Yes. AJ just informed me we are on a 9-week fight card streak. We're about to work, buddy. Let's go.
I live for this type of shit. I don't like when it's just 2 weeks on, 1 off. I like the 9-week marathon, 0 days off from me. Every single day I'll be here. So keep it locked in with me. Keep it locked in with the Finch, and keep it locked in every Monday with the Moneyline. You ready to get on business, bro, and get into fight number 1?
Let's run it.
Let's get it. Fight number 1 on UFC Perth. We got Loma Lookboonmee versus Alexia Thainara. Listen, Finch, I'm going with the Brazilian prospect in Thainara to get it done in this matchup. I think the Lookboonmee striking is nice. Definitely good Muay Thai. Hand speed is beautiful. Her kicks, snappy, but Thainara is a pretty good Brazilian Muay Thai stylist on the feet. I like her rhythm. I like the way that she keeps the head a bit on a swivel, kind of always has a bounce to her. She's very loose, very smooth, with some power, but a nasty ground game. Loma Lookboonmee, though she has very good Muay Thai, in a good amount of her fights, you're seeing her out-grapple some of these girls. In a matchup here where I think she's at a clear-cut disadvantage on the ground, and she's dealing with a girl who's larger, longer, and I think more powerful, I see her struggling. I'm saying this, ceiling-wise, both girls primed on the come-up right now. Loma more UFC experience, but I see Thainara with the higher ceiling. Hibas family, I feel like she's the prospect. I think that she could potentially have a better MMA run than her mentor, Amanda Hibas. And I feel like that's the hopes with the team. I'm going to say Thainara goes out there and wins. Potentially a submission is live. I could see her tapping out Lookboonmee, but definitely decision also on the table. I think Thainara hand raised.
It's a good ladies fight. I mean, you got Loma Lookboonmee on a 4-fight streak. She's beaten some decent ladies, Estela Nunes, Bruna Brazil, Elise Reed, and Denise Gomes. But you know, she's got impressive Muay Thai. She does the basics real well. She's got some grit to her. You know, I like her style, but you're right. She's not good on the ground. And it seems like Thainara might be able to get it there. Now, if you're looking outside of UFC before she, you know, dominated Molly McCann in the UFC, she gets a little wild sometimes. So I can imagine her getting hit by Lookboonmee, but we're talking about small females. It's not like we're talking about a Francis Ngannou type knockout power here. So I think Thainara can afford to make some mistakes. And when the going gets tough, I'm worried about the takedowns for Lookboonmee. You know, Lookboonmee has to fight a perfect fight to win this thing. She needs to keep her at kicking range, keep putting teeps into her body, ripping up the legs, putting Muay Thai combinations together, eking out 2 out of 3 rounds. Thainara could do all kinds of shit. She could win by strangle. She could catch her on the feet. She's explosive on the feet as well. Just a more well-rounded fighter. I'll go with the more so UFC newcomer. She got the dub against McCann, but you know what I'm saying. She's coming against a Lookboonmee who's got a little seasoning on her. You know, she's been in the fryer a little bit longer in the UFC, dealing with those spotlights. But I'll go Thainara. I think she can possibly finish it via submission. Let's say decision.
There he is. I'm back, Finch.
You're
I had to
back.
switch.
Was it me or you?
No, it was me. I had to switch Wi-Fi networks. So I
It's literally like
I was on a weaker
like,
connection.
do I have to refresh this shit?
No, you're chilling.
Right,
I
cool.
think that you're on the money with the call. And I'm going to quickly shout out the donos in chat. Wadi, thank you for $2.99. Am I crazy to think Reyes wins by decision? Not crazy. We'll talk.
Maybe
we'll talk
Wadi's crazy.
Finch is going to have a take. I know it's coming. Hey, thank you, Wadi, for $2.99. Jared Nunes, thank you for $19.99. Glad we are back at it. Let's go. Hey, my guy. Glad to have you per usual. Thank you for a big $20 dono.
Thank you, Jared Nunes. Glad to be back.
Let's get into the lines. All right. Looking at the betting side of this ladies fight, Lookboonmee sitting at a plus 200 underdog tag. Now, for a seasoned veteran who's on a 4-fight win streak, pretty big dog. Looking towards the opposite side, Thainara minus 235 as a clear-cut favorite. At the end of the day, you are paying the price for a girl who only is on the sophomore UFC appearance. But I really like the chances of her going out and winning here. Lookboonmee last time actually had some trouble with Estela Nunes in round number 2. Obviously, Estela Nunes is a good striker in that matchup, though, you know, Estela hasn't looked great in her UFC run. She looked all right against Lookboonmee. I think with Thainara here, the grappling edge is going to be a key difference maker. I'm not telling you to go out crazy. Submission is plus 275, decision plus 115, money line minus 235. Do you want to bet it? It's one of those situations where it's like, do you believe in the hyped up prospect or not? You're probably not going to touch the money line. Maybe you're considering playing it in a parlay. I don't think that's insane, but you have to consider that Thainara is in the biggest fight of her life, really, against Lookboonmee with a clear-cut edge, but she's across the world fighting in Australia. I still think she wins. What do you think about minus 235, though?
Molly McCann's a bigger name than Lookboonmee.
That's fair.
Yeah. There was more star power, you know, fucking Barstool Sports, Patty Pimblett,
That's
you know, going into the Molly McCann thing. So I think she actually fights comfortably, bro. You know, I was listening to some fighters talk about this. Apparently, Australia likes to take your money. Like when you fight over there, like they take a crazy amount. So if you're a citizen and you live in Australia, it's fine, and you're not going to, you know, be heavily taxed. But if you're a foreigner and you're going over there to Perth, apparently they're taxing you bad. So I think a lot of these fighters who are flying in, I heard there's a way they can do it where they give you more money on the promotional side and not on the like normal fight purse. I don't know, but it creates a headache for people flying in. So I can't imagine any of them are too happy about that situation. With that being said, it matters if she's out there early. It matters if they're, you know, properly adjusting her to the time change. Hopefully those things are happening. I don't have any inside info on that.
Thainara to win. Skills pay the bills. I believe she's got them. Finch, man, we're in alignment for fight number 1. We're going.
Yeah, she's talented, bro. She's special. I'd be surprised to see her lose to a Lookboonmee.
Same. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. We got heavyweights going after it. I want to give a special shout out to Paku. Brando Peričić is actually an old buddy of his. And he told me about him when he was supposed to fight on Contender Series. He said, yo, check him out. Keep an eye. And then they moved it to this Perth card. He's making his debut. He's taken on a guy who's, got a decent record at 5-1, Elisha Ellison. But when I look at the matchup, I like the striking of Peričić a lot. He's got kickboxing, Muay Thai experience. Guy's a good athlete with the rugby background. Even in the fight that he lost as a pro, it was actually against a pretty capable dude. Guy's record in the fight was 13-3. He lost by second round sub, but he was winning the first round, had him badly hurt. His past 2 fights have been against debuting guys, and he's ran them over, has shown good ground game, training with City Kickboxing. I'm not impressed by Ellison. Watching tape on Ellison, I thought he's hittable for sure. A little bit awkward on the feet. I'd even say slightly clunky with the way that he rips his shots. Seems to be decent with power, fairly athletic, decent on the ground, but nothing really jumped out at me. Whereas I looked at Peričić, I'm like, yo, he's a big heavyweight. He seems to have some hand speed, trains with City Kickboxing. He's better at striking. I think his ground game is capable. I see him with a knockout or submission. Really, I wouldn't be shocked if he won by sub either. I think Peričić all day long to go out and win. And I'm going to say inside distance. I like his chances.
He fucking rips shots in the clinch too, man. I was watching some of his earlier fights, and he'll push one of these big-ass heavyweights up the fence, knee him in the stomach, elbow him in the face. I like his activity in the clinch, and that would be really smart against Ellison. Try to tie him up, get a little bit of blood in those shoulders, bury a couple knees into the body. I think that would be a perfect first round, and then he could open up a little bit. And I like that he's at City Kickboxing, so he's getting the looks of the good kickboxers. The worry about Ellison is that he finds a big shot. Is his first name Elisha?
It's Elisha. Suspect? It's a conspiracy theory.
What his name? Elisha? Huh?
Elisha.
All right, maybe I'm tripping. I'm gonna go with the bro. First of all, it's just starting this off, so let's say it now. I think City Kickboxing is gonna have a good night. I think Peričić should be able to, get him out of there in the second or third. Yeah, TKO.
I think he fucks him up, man. I think there's a skill gap disparity, and he's minus 220 as the favorite, which I don't think is wide enough for the potential that I see. Plus 185 for Ellison. Looking towards inside distance for Peričić, minus 185. I agree. KO is minus 160. Submission is all the way up at plus 1,000, but it's not like an impossibility. I mean, Peričić has won by submission before. Obviously, knockout is option A, but I'd say if he had Ellison rocked, he could potentially choke him out. I think that it's a Peričić W all day. I am going to say KO. That's the official call. One-way traffic, minus 220, and I think he runs through Ellison here. I think it's a good debut. We need heavyweights,
too, especially if he's smart about it, and I like the looks he's getting in the gym to deal with a striker like this. I've seen Ellison not be stupid on the feet. He's been patient, and he's definitely dangerous. So you can't be stupid and get clocked by him, because there's moments where Peričić is he gets into a fight. He likes to get into a fight, but I like his tenacity. I think it'll work for him. I think he'll get the finish.
And I looked at Ellison's most recent loss, man. I don't know. He got clipped, the chin got dropped, and then choked out. I'm not blown away. I think Peričić looks better. Watching the tape, I was like, all right, I see a guy that looks like a fun heavyweight versus a guy that I don't know how long he really lasts in the UFC Shark Tank, to keep it a buck.
Yeah. I mean, Ellison is I think he's going to be getting hurt in the clinch. I think he's going to be getting up against a striker who's got lots of weapons. Like I said, knees, elbows, punches, kicks. Like he's not just coming there boxing him or something. So yeah. And I heard a rumor that Ellison is not a full-time fighter, that he's like a, retired cop. What does that mean? You mean you quit? You stop being a cop and now you're security? This could all be fake news. It could be fake news, folks. I don't know. But I'll just judging on tape. We're both on Peričić KO.
Let's go. Peričić W. The pinch. The Trump. We're going for the same side. Let's keep running. Next up, we got ladies again. We have Michelle Montague versus Luana Carolina. Michelle Montague, UFC debut, undefeated as a pro at 6-0, and was undefeated at 4-0 in Bellator, 4-0 in PFL, 1-0 in Bellator. Surprising to see them let her go, but I guess it's because their focus is not this women's bantamweight division, right? I don't know. It's like you have an undefeated girl and you just say, hey, see you later. I think that Montague's ground game is pretty legit, but I will say the stand-up has me thinking, okay, I could see combinations for Carolina with that awkward, herky-jerky striking game. But the thing is with Carolina, she's going to be outsized in the matchup, and she's definitely at a disparity in grappling and specifically wrestling. I think if Montague has some of the goods, which she seems to, I mean, she's got all her wins by submission, I think she gets this fight to the ground. I think that she wins the grappling battle, and I think she eventually submits the striker in Luana Carolina. Carolina comes from the Muay Thai base, bit of an awkward style to her. And, I think with Luana Carolina, when you look through, her resume, she's a decent out, right? Like you look at her wins, she beat Lupe Godinez at one point, who's, a strawweight, and now she's fighting a big 135er. I just think we're going to see the level disparity in the grappling, and I think it shows itself fairly well here. Montague should win. I really believe that.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at a couple stats and think Luana Carolina, for instance, she's on a 3-fight streak in the UFC. She hasn't lost a fight since 2023. She was able to get a TKO over Julia Stoliarenko, beat Lucy Pudilova, Ivana Petrovic. That's her streak. But look at these girls. I mean, Lucy Pudilova, 16-11 pro record. Julia Stoliarenko, 11-9 pro record. You know what I'm saying? Ivana Petrovic just lost to that girl in San Diego, the jiu-jitsu girl, Juliana Miller.
Yeah.
Jamie Lynn Horth in her last one. So, yeah, the level is relatively low. As to where you look at Michelle Montague, she's in American top team prospect. Very dangerous on the ground, obviously, submission victories. So if she gets it there, I think it's a wrap. I think you're looking at a talent, and so the odds are probably right. But, red flag, UFC debut, the woman she's fighting is on a roll. I've seen this movie before.
Minus 210 currently for Montague. Carolina sits at plus 180. Submission is plus 200 for Montague. All wins by sub. She's a finisher. I think she's live to eventually get it. I believe it.
Yeah, I think so. I think Montague's submission's the right call.
Yeah, Montague should pull through. I don't know, man. I don't think Carolina's got the stopping power to put her away. I mean, if Montague can't get her down and then flurries are coming and she like turtles up, but I don't know. I have to favor the side of proven wrestling, grappling, as opposed to just the stand-up style. Even though Carolina's got some ground game, it's just she's never looked good to me, bro. Like, how many years have we been watching Carolina now? How many fights have we covered? We cover all of her fights. I'm never like, whoa, Luana Carolina, she's on the come up.
Title challenger. Right. Of course.
Montague might be, though. At least there's seems to be somewhat talent of a potential. Yeah, I'm going to go towards what could be as opposed to what we know isn't.
I like that she's from New Zealand, too. More so that part of the world. Might feel a little bit comfortable over there in Perth. I agree.
Let's go. Montague for the W, for myself, for the Finch man. Let's keep running up the card. Next one, we got the prospect of Volkanovski, his protege, Colby Thicknesse versus Josias Musasa. I'm going to pick the side of Thicknesse to get the win. I think it's a competitive fight. Musasa is pretty aggressive with his hands. He's got big power. He's called the KO Wizard, for God's sake. He hits hard, and he's a strong athlete. He's physically a strong fighter. He's got decent ground game, effective stand-up. I think that Thicknesse is a little bit slicker. Quote to the nickname, slickness, thickness. I think his jiu-jitsu is definitely better. Definitely slicker on the mat. Where I worry about Thicknesse is boxing range with Musasa's hands and wrestling if Musasa's physicality carries and he's able to stop Thicknesse's takedowns or potentially reverse him, get on top, land some big ground and pound. I'm going to lean towards the Thicknesse side. He gave Alexandre Topuria a decent fight on short notice. Musasa's UFC debut, he got caught by the head kick and then got choked out by Carlos Vera, where he's a huge favorite. I'm still unsure on where I rate Musasa at this point. He was close with Tanzalovi on the Contender Series last year. He definitely has a knockout ability, but at 135, it's not like he's a crazy precise hitter. Like, you know it, Finch. When you're watching regional scenes, you might hit them with a big punch, they're going to go down. That same punch on a UFC fighter, they're not going to drop from. They're not going to quit when they get hit hard. They're going to try to win. They're going to come back. And the guy
especially when they're seasoned.
Yeah. And I think Thicknesse is a seasoned prospect. So I'm going to go with Thicknesse to get the win. I think I lean towards decision, but we'll see what happens. What do you think?
Yeah, he's the more well-rounded mixed martial artist. He has more ways to win the fight. I mean, as far as Musasa goes, you're just relying on him to find a big shot, one big shot, rock him, put him out. And I got a lot of respect for the Topuria brothers. I think that, Thicknesse's loss to Elliott Topuria's brother is not some type of, how did he lose? It's like fucking, those guys are real high level too. So I think Thicknesse can bounce back here well. It's actually a great matchup for him. All he has to really do is not get clocked. If he doesn't get clocked, he should be able to win this decision, grind with the wrestling, and use his technical kickboxing too. I mean, the more he makes it a technical fight, the more he takes it over. The less he plants his feet, the better. It's very winnable for Thicknesse. And luckily, the odds are good.
He's a plus 130 underdog. I don't understand. I actually am rather confused by him sitting at plus 130 dog status here. Why is Musasa the favorite? He's on one in the UFC as well. He didn't fight Alexandre Topuria. Strange, right?
Yeah, and Musasa was a solid favorite against Carlos Vera too. Yeah, they're giving him a lot of love. I don't know. I mean, he could catch a lot of dudes, but at this level, especially, I think you actually touched something really important, because if he was a heavyweight, it's just like put one Rumble Johnson style shot on somebody, Rumble Johnson used to be a 170, but he fought all the way up to heavyweight. You get my point.
Yeah.
At this weight class, that's generally historically not been a style that is an undefeated style. You really need deep skills, and I think Thicknesse has much better grappling, wrestling, especially jiu-jitsu.
Agreed. Paku, thank you for 20 months of membership. Just got here, missed the Brando segment. I'll rewatch the start. This is the most nervous I've been for a fight ever. Very exciting, though. Yeah, as I mentioned in the video and earlier, Paku's a friend of his, and it's pretty cool, man. I think he's got it, bro.
Yeah, we both think he's got it, Paku. He's up against a puncher, but I like him in the clinch. Like, I was watching some of his old fights back, and I think that'd be perfect. Get a clinch, put him against the fence, rough him up a little bit, and then start working some of that city kickboxing. I think your boy's got it.
Let's go. Yeah, and I think Thicknesse got it here as a dog. Listen, plus 130, it's easier said than done, but just don't get knocked out. Like, I don't think Musasa is chinning him. I'm not blown away by Musasa. I think he hits hard for sure, but at the end of the day, he's got to be ready for 3 hard rounds with a technical fighter from that side of the world to at home. There's a lot of net positives for the Thicknesse side, and I think he goes out and wins a decision. Decision win for Thicknesse sits at plus 275 with the over 2.5 at minus 130. They're giving you an over 1.5 at minus 260. I think it goes over 1.5.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, unless you're thinking, it's going to be a Musasa knockout. I think with Thicknesse's game, it does. Now, Thicknesse could sub him. I think you're rolling the dice a little bit on this one, picking under over.
Thicknesse wins by submission is 6-1, bruh. For a guy with capable jits,
you're always doing that to me.
I know. Listen, it's tempting, but nonetheless, fuck the method of victory. Plus 130 line. It seems like a capable dog that we're both picking, and I think he should be a 2-1 favorite. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. So I think that's an obvious look. Yeah. I don't think that line will stay, guys. I think by fight time that line's going to be even. Interesting. They're giving Musasa some love. We'll see what's up.
Thicknesse opened as a plus 250 underdog here. That's crazy, huh?
When? How long ago was that?
The line was plus 250 about a month ago. No, rather 2 weeks ago, September 14th.
Yeah, some of these are moving. There's another one that moved a lot on this card. I'm trying to remember the fight. Was it Jimmy Crute and Bellato? I don't know. Did I get that right? It's Jimmy Crute and Ivan Erslan. That's what I meant. I don't know. Yeah, minus 250 or plus 250.
That'd be
Jesus
crazy.
Christ. I don't know what they're seeing either. You know, my buddy Kevin, who's pretty good at picking fights, who actually disagrees with me about the Ivan Erslan and Jimmy Crute one. We'll get to it. He's got thickness too.
Sure. Let's go. Thickness for the dubs. Let's keep it running. Next fight on the card. We got Jamie Mullarkey versus Rolando Bedoya. Finch, man, I'm going with Jamie Mullarkey to get a dub here. Now, of course, you know, he's been knocked out in his past two. Could Bedoya let him hammer fly? Don't get knocked out. I just think Mullarkey's more crisp in the stand-up. He's technically better. His grappling is better. I'm not impressed by Bedoya outside of, I guess, the Chaos Williams debut. He looked pretty good, but the Chaos Williams win is, or rather loss, has not aged well, right?
That's
Chaos Williams has shown himself to be fairly limited as far as anything but power shots. And then I look at Mullarkey and I think back to some of the wins, and his stand-up game is there. But then again, he gets hit a lot. He doesn't move his head a lot. You said this years ago. He doesn't move his head. And he's very basic with his striking. Not a lot of feints. The thing with Bedoya is it's not like he's this slick hitter either with crazy countering abilities. He kind of just clashes inside and throws hard. Does have decent low kicks, though.
Good kicker.
Yeah, he does. I'm going to go towards the Mullarkey side to get the hand raised over the 0-3 Bedoya, but I would not bet on fucking Mullarkey. I'll tell you that much.
Bro, you have dunked on Bedoya. I think I wrote down your quote here because
What did I say?
You dunked on him hard. I wrote
What did I say?
AJ doesn't believe in Bedoya. Bedoya slaps punches, no power. God damn.
He's a slapper. He slaps a lot of his shots.
I am not impressed by your performance. Damn, AJ. I'm going to go with Bedoya. I think Bedoya can outkick him. You know, Mullarkey's only 31, so Mullarkey should be in his prime. I look at Mullarkey, I'm like, what is he, 36 now? This motherfucker. No, he's only 31.
I know.
But, you know, Bedoya is 28 years old. I think he could bounce back from having some good opposition, bro. Come on, his losses. You rip on him for being 0-3. He probably beat Chaos Williams. You agree?
I picked him too, yeah. I think I picked him. I don't know if I picked him. Actually, I might not have picked him.
So really 1 and 2. And then Kanan Song and Jai Herbert are fucking pretty. I'd pick Kanan Song and Jai Herbert over Jamie Mullarkey all day.
Sure.
So I think Bedoya bounces back here. I think Mullarkey doesn't have enough consequence for him. You know, I could see Mullarkey getting his legs chewed up a little bit, getting slapped, as AJ
He might get slapped. He might get bitch slapped a little bit. Pop, 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 pop.
I'll go with Bedoya beating Mullarkey in you know, a decent fight for sure. And probably a decision.
Looking at the betting lines currently, Bedoya is a -110 to Mullarkey at -110. Even on both sides.
And we're on opposite sides. So perfect.
Hey, shout out to Paku for the dono, man. Thank you for $10. Much love, boys. Let's go. Let's go, Paku. Thank you.
Let's go, Paku. Does the A mean Australia? Are you over there in Perth, Paku? What's up, man?
He's
you going to this event or what, bro?
I don't think he's going to the event. He has gone to a couple. I don't think this one. I asked him about it. I think he said he's not going to this one specifically. Went to the last
I asked AJ if he would come do commentary with me. He's like, nah, I gotta do the UFC events on Saturdays. That's how much he loves you guys. He won't even come do commentary with your boy. That's
if
crazy.
It's an off week, we'll talk though. Are they doing
if it's an off when we got 9 weeks straight right now? What the fuck are the chances?
And I'll be honest, that 10th week I'm out of town, so I don't know.
That's like, you know, somebody, like, you ask a girl on a date, she's like, yeah, when I have a free, you know what I mean? She's saying no. She's saying no. You know, AJ said no.
I'm saying when I'm off.
That motherfucker. He would rather hang out with you guys on a Saturday. Can you imagine what he could accomplish on Saturdays? AJ could be out here, you know. Who knows what he could be up to Saturday night? Flying knees at the club. I don't know what stories we would get. Instead, he wants to hang out with y'all. That's a dedicated man right there. Respect.
Listen, I'm dedicated to the beautiful craft, bro. I love my play-by-play. I love my chat. The shows are fun. It's every week, man. I can't take a day off.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. You know, the next XFO event is the day before Thanksgiving. It's a Wednesday night, but I'll be doing commentary, so we good. But
that'll be fun. That's a good Wednesday night.
I know it's kind of a crazy time. So hey, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, if you're in the Chicago area, come see your boy for some fist fights. Let's go.
Let's go. Shout out to the Finch. There he is. Well, Finch is going Bedoya. I'll go Mullarkey, but looking at him, it's hard for me to pick this guy. I mean, it's like a goddamn gremlin or something like that. He looks like an elder elf, to be honest with you. Yeah. We got Ratatouille versus the fucking elf man. Jesus fuck. Listen, keep my money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? But
Holy shit. Yo, first off, you didn't do him any justice with the picture. You know what I mean?
this is
Like,
ESPN's picks, bro. I got these from the
that's
ESPN website.
ESPN don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
He looks straight out of a fucking Lord of the Rings, bro. I don't know what's going on. Trey Good says that he lost his cousin tonight in a motorcycle accident. Super sorry to hear that.
Just sorry to hear that.
Give you a
Jesus.
shout out since I saw your comment, and all the best to you and your family, brother. Really sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that, Trey Good. You're a valued member of the channel and longtime supporter. Sorry to hear about your cousin. That's very unfortunate, man. And I guess the only thing I say, I hope you're all right, which you probably aren't, but time heals all, I guess. And I hope that, you have good memories with your cousin at the very least.
Yeah, man, it's a dangerous thing. Frank Mir got fucked up real bad riding his motorcycle. Remember, he thought he was going to be retired after that. I ask people sometimes who ride bikes, I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about getting one. Should I? And half of them go, no. They go, don't. They're like, it's fucking dangerous. So, yeah, you have to be willing to risk it. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, I won't go on the freeway. I'll just zip around town. And then I'm sure once you have the bike, you're like, fuck it. You go on the So it's very dangerous out there, man. Hey, I live in Southern California. Ain't a motherfucker out here who could drive, okay? I see some terrible shit texting and driving. I've seen it all. I was in Hawaii. There was a dude getting top just driving next to us. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So you got to be careful out there on the road, man. You can't fuck around on the road. And especially with these cell phones, people go, oh, it's terrible riding motorcycles by Teslas. I hate it. It's like, guys, that is so much safer than having a chimpanzee driving a car. Are you fucking kidding me? I'd much prefer the robots drive to spare us out there, because it's one of the most common ways people go. Like before fentanyl, the most common way to die as a young person in the US was automobile accidents. So be careful.
Braden, thank you for gifting a membership, my friend. Big W to you, bro. Thank you, dog.
Got you, Trey.
Listen.
All right, Jamie Mullarkey's ugly as fuck, but AJ's going with the elf troll king, and I'm gonna go with Bedoya slapping him.
Let's go. Let's keep running up the damn card. Next fight, we got a good one. Jonathan Micallef versus Oban Elliott. Finch, man, I'm going with Micallef to get a W in this matchup. I like his chances here against Oban Elliott. I like his reach advantage. I like his southpaw stance. I like the way he throws his shots with speed. His straight shots are pretty accurate. I like his grappling, defensive, and submission threats. Oban Elliott, his wins haven't aged well. And his last loss, he got fucking handled by Ko. Now, I think Ko's a beast, but he got beat in all areas of MMA. I really think when you dig back, it's like maybe we really were overrating the fuck out of Oban Elliott riding the high of the hype train. Reality is, I think that Micallef seems to have a pretty skillful stand-up game with good jiu-jitsu, with good athleticism, in really good shape. I picked him as an underdog against Jose. He came through. I'm picking him against Elliott here. Now, I picked Elliott as an underdog against Preston Parsons, and that kind of started my Oban Elliott train and, crashed roughly against Ko. Now he fights Micallef. I just think Micallef's a bit better than him, and I'm going to go towards his side. I think he can get the hand raised in this matchup.
Micallef, rangy striker. I mean, that matters a lot here. Yeah, 6 feet tall, 77-inch reach. I could imagine him outpointing Oban Elliott. I think Oban Elliott's going to need takedowns here, and I just don't have enough faith that he'll get him. The Finch last name is Welsh, so I would love to see the Welsh gangster pull through. I mean, come on. But I could see Micallef pitching a shutout here, just sticking on the outside, using his punches and kicks, staying in the green zone, as we call it, right? Keeping everything at range and styling on Oban Elliott, But it's a good one. I mean, Oban Elliott, if he could just even get a takedown around, you know, he's a well-rounded mixed martial arts fighter. Oban Elliott's definitely got game. I think he's UFC caliber, but Micallef is just a little more special with the striking. Let's say he out kickboxes him. I'm with you on this one. I think Micallef gets it done decision.
Micallef currently, he is sitting at -102. Oban -118. Near even lines between the two of them. Over 2.5 is -235. I lean towards that over side. Micallef decision +225 for a Micallef decision. Oban decision +130. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely way. We haven't really seen you know, Elliott fold. I think Elliott's going to be in it. Yeah, I think on the cards makes sense, but I don't know if I would chase that decision line per se.
No, I think over 2.5 makes sense though.
Probably. Yeah. What was the over 2.5?
Sits at -235.
I think that's likely.
Oh, I like that right there.
Very likely. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. I actually like.
I got you, bro. Oh.
Huh. I don't really see Oban getting him out of there. And Micallef, his smartest thing he could do is just fight a technical fight. Yeah. Oban likes to go to decision. He got Basil Hafez out of there. That's right.
Basil Hafez, though, looking back at that Mickey Gall fight, there was red flags all over it, man.
yeah. Basil Hafez is a fucking tank, but not really built to go distance, you know? Yeah. Micallef decision. Good fight.
Good fight. Good battle. Micallef decision. The call for myself. The call for the Finchmeister. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card. We got Cam Rowston versus Andre Petroski. It's not really a striker versus grappler fight, but it feels like it. Cam Rowston does have a pretty capable jiu-jitsu game. City kickboxing prospect. I like Cam Rowston to beat Petroski. Petroski struggles when you put a little pressure on him and you start letting punches and kicks fly at him. And his wins as of late have been more so safety first decisions. I guess he did out kickbox Adolfo Vieira. I mean, I know Adolfo Vieira boxed up Tresean Gore, but it's Tresean Gore. I really feel like Cam Rowston has capable kickboxing, good tie clinch, good elbows, good knees, good jiu-jitsu. I look at Petroski and I'm like, okay, maybe a slight wrestling edge, but can he blanket him for 3 rounds? He's probably going to try to. It's probably the best bet. The issue with Petroski, though, is I think it could fall apart. Some big shots could fly. We saw him against Shabazi, and he got shut down. You put him on the back foot, you start making him pay, you start bullying him, you don't get intimidated. Petroski does well when you're a little scared of him, right? He's big, jacked, big beard. Like, he is an intimidating person. But Cam Rowston with the length advantage, taller guy, he's a fucking scary dude.
Yeah.
I think that Cam Rowston is able to touch him up. He's definitely the better striker. In pure jiu-jitsu, you'd have to favor Petroski, but I feel like Rowston could surprise a lot of people in this matchup here. I think he could crack Petroski, send them backwards. I'm going Cam Rowston for the W in this one. I think that his stand-up game is pretty good, and his grappling defense is sound enough. Even, I mean, yeah, the loss he had on Contender against Therese Finney, he got blanketed a bit, but Finney did nothing to him. All Finney did was try to hold him, and Rowston was touching him on the feet, but I just couldn't keep him off of him. Petroski probably tries to implement something similar, but I don't know. I just think Rowston's gotten better since then. I'm going to say that he can do it, man. I think so. I'm going Rowston. His grappling's good.
The battle giraffe himself. Now, Rowston is a better kickboxer than Petroski. Loose, relaxed, city kickboxing. He's at home. They're in Australia. A lot of things to like. He's on a little bit of a roll right now. I think he could just volume up Petroski. That's very likely. Petroski, if he can get to the top position, I am impressed with his pins. And I think that might be a slight difference between us two. The way he pinned Josh Fremd, right? The way when Petroski gets to the top position, he could just park that truck, you know, and he could just stay there and he could gas you out. He's strong as fuck, Petroski, right? When he has an underhook on the far side, you ain't going nowhere. So Petroski needs the takedown, though. And that's where I think there's an issue here. Because Edmund Shabazian's his wrestling's not outstanding. He got submitted by Gerald Mearshart. He's been submitted by plenty of guys. His takedown defense is not outstanding. Good enough to beat a Petroski. I think here you're going to see Petroski have trouble cutting off the cage, closing the distance. His striking's not, his timing's not quite there. His technical ability's not there enough to make you defensive enough to be able to get in on that shot. Yes. And so I think there'll be an issue closing the distance on Rowston. I am fucking concerned, bro, because if he gets that top position, do I think Rowston's getting back up? I do not. I do not think that. But I don't think he gets there enough. Even if he gets there one round, I think Rowston gets the other two, potentially puts a TKO on him. I mean, Rowston could start, letting combinations go and working that body and trying to get Petroski out of there. I just see too much danger in it for Petroski, even where the fight's happening at. I told you, City Kickboxing being on fire. I'm going to take another City Kickboxing prospect. I'm going to go Rowston. We're both on the dog. Yeah,
he's currently sitting at a plus 131 tag with Petroski at minus 151. I'm going to go the Rowston side. I'm not crazy about chasing here. I mean, looking at the over 2.5, minus 131. Could Petroski kind of blanket him? Maybe. If they're striking, could Rowston catch Petroski, though? Maybe hurt him. And to be fair to the game of Rowston, it's not like he doesn't have a capable jiu-jitsu game. He's got 7 sub wins. Majority of his wins are by submission. Rowston, though he's got a solid stand-up game, he's a grappler too. Doesn't have the same wrestling, but I think we could end up going over 2.5 if Petroski's on it with takedowns, but I could see Petroski getting melted by some shots, man. And I think Rowston could end up stopping him. Rowston come off a big knockout too as an underdog. I picked him against Holmes. I was surprised. Like, how the fuck is he a dog?
And here's his dog again. Yeah, I could see him getting some volume going, working that body, keeping things at range, using the big cage to move around. There's a lot to like for him here. How about the fact that, he trains in Australia? I think that's very important. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Rowston too. I think a TKO is likely. I see somebody in the chat. What do you think about over 2.5? Over 2.5 here is dicey if you're thinking Rowston. If you're thinking Petroski, bro, I think Petroski is going to be a decision machine, especially at like a decent level in the UFC like this. If you give him a bum, he'll get Jose Medina out of there. But you get what I'm saying. But if he's at this level, yeah, I think Petroski's going to try to win that decision. Rowston wants to build a highlight reel. This might be on it.
I like it, man. Rowston for the W is going to be our call.
The dog, let's go, Obi. Let's go.
Let's go, Finchmeister. Let's keep running. Let's get to our featured prelim of the night. We got Navajo Stirling versus Rodolfo Bellato. Fun light heavyweight fight. Yes. Mike Finch, break it down for us. What do you think is going to happen here?
Navajo Stirling should be able to dominate a Rodolfo Bellato. Rodolfo Bellato, he's got power, but you always know where he's at, okay? He's just, he's not, if he had to sneak in the house, right, he's going to be Santa Claus for the kids. Yeah, the kids are all waking up. What the fuck? Who the fuck is here? Bellato is just heavy feet, heavy, big-boned motherfucker, and Stirling is on the balls of his feet. He's long, he's lanky, he can lean out of the way. He's quicker than Bellato. He's going to put more punches together. Bellato's going to load shit up. Everything Bellato throws, his fucking hips and his shoulders are behind it. Make no mistake, you do not want to be getting hit by Bellato. He starts coming downhill, it's going to be a bad thing. I think Stirling is a terrible matchup for Rodolfo Bellato. You got water versus stone, and it's just going to wear that stone out. I believe that, he's going to be able to move, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and Bellato is going to be out there getting stung up, man. Give me Navajo Stirling late finish.
Yeah, I think Navajo knocks his ass out too. Let's not forget, Bellato has had some woes in his UFC career. Poteria dropped his ass. Poteria was boxing him up. And I think Navajo Stirling is a lot more of a crisp kickboxer than that. And then you even look at the Jimmy Crute fight. Jimmy Crute hurts him big on the feet. You look at the recent fight against Paul Craig. I always said, Bellato, one thing about him, he don't quit on himself. My God, what the fuck? Now you just proved my argument. That was so stupid. So I question his IQ completely, man. I think Stirling there's a clear level difference in the stand-up. He's actually got a really nice right hand to the left hook with power. I could see him catching Bellato, a little bit more of like a power stance, a little bit more square, a little bit more like Finch. He's heavy-footed. He's stomping his way in. I think he's getting touched up, man. I think Bellato probably looks to grapple a bit as he looks to throw wild shit and close the gap. I think Stirling can catch him, make him pay, can create space, can land shots in close. Let's not doubt the Muay Thai of Stirling either. Elbows and knees are definitely a factor.
Sure.
And I think Bellato is just beatable here. And I think Stirling's finally starting to find his footing, right? Against Ivan Erslan, that third fucking round is when he really showed what he's capable of, nearly knocking him out, having him badly hurt at the end. Navajo Stirling's good in all ranges. And against a Bellato, who's just, power bombs and insane pressure, I think Navajo Stirling gets the KO. I'm picking his side, Finch. We're on the right side, I think. So he's a bit of a favorite at minus 240 looking at the odds, with Bellato plus 205, but I think he's the better fighter.
Yeah, that checks out for me all day. Bellato can beat certain styles. I think this is a great antidote to that. I don't think Bellato can take him down. I don't think he'd try. And I don't think he's going to be able to box with him. I don't think he'll be able to kick with him. We got a lot of issues here. We're both on Navajo Stirling. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Navajo looks pretty good. I've liked him since Contender Series, and I think his UFC performances keep getting better. Young prospect on the come up, city kickboxing fighter. Their team has some good prospects on this card. And at 27 years of age, I think he's really starting to find his flow. And Finchman and I both think W incoming. We're both going Stirling. It's time for the main card. But before we jump to the main card, if you haven't seen them yet, check out the Contender Series picks. They're up on the channel. Now, don't do it now. Wait till the end. But after this video or after Finchman's stream, add it to your watch later. I know a lot of people ask, yo, AJ, where are the Contender Series picks? Well, if you're not getting my post notifications, shame on you. You should have them on anyways. But they are up on the channel now for week 7. We got a pretty good card. So
did you take that picture today, bro? That looks like you today, dude.
No, it's a few days ago. But yeah.
Really? Wow.
It does look like me right now, to be honest.
Right now. It's like same hat. Okay, gotcha.
Let's go.
Beautiful. Hey, AJ putting that motherfucking work in. Okay, I show up to Dana White's Contender Series. I'm like, Dana White. I'm like, who the fuck are they? Let's run it. Let's see what happens, right? AJ putting in that work. Props, dude.
Thank you, bro. Let's get to the main card of UFC Perth. If you guys are watching and enjoying, hit that damn like button. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that damn subscribe button. Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. Good fight. I like the matchup. Campbell stepping in on short notice. Respect to him. He's replacing Evan Elder. Not super crazy short notice, but still a short notice spot. Hasn't fought in a year and 5 months. I like Tom Nolan here. Since that time, Tom Nolan has really put his UFC career together. Won 3 straight fights. I think he's showing improvements in each and every fight. Beat Slava Claus last time, showing a well-versed game. Stand-up is good, technically sound. Chin is the worry with Tom Nolan. Bad KO loss to Nicholas Moda. Got dropped against, lower-level guys. But the truth is, I think that Tom Nolan is still sound enough to get a W here, especially against a Campbell. Short notice, a year and a half off. I think Nolan's well-versed. His wrestling's good. His striking's good. Range is pretty solid here. Now, on the opposite side, Campbell's a power hitter for sure. Campbell's aggressive, and he gets over-aggressive at time and has been caught doing such a thing. Won against Trevor Peek in his last out, but a bit of a back and forth against Peek in that matchup. I think that Tom Nolan uses his legs pretty well. Good punches down the center, good teeps to the body, good low kicks, tight in his guard. If he doesn't get overzealous and wild, I really think he could outstrike a Campbell and then into some grappling success. I'm going to go Tom Nolan to get the hand raised here, and I think he is live for a finish too.
Nice little run too. He's got 3 fights in 2024. Just beat Slava Claus as well in February. I like this for him, and he was already preparing for this card, so you got him on a full camp as well. And if you look over at Campbell, Campbell not very active. The wins that he does have, like Trevor Peek, is not good at fighting. His wins aren't as impressive as Tom Nolan's either. So yeah, I think Nolan puts on a good performance here, and even just because of the short notice thing, has better cardio for it. I like that a lot. Hit me with the odds again.
Right now, it's minus 150 for Tom Nolan, plus 130 for Charlie Campbell.
Yeah, I got Tom Nolan, dog.
I think Tom Nolan does it too. The worry with Nolan is him getting clipped by a big punch, because Campbell's got power for sure. Mm-hmm. But I feel like Nolan's getting more aware defensively. That debut, he's like overzealous for the finish, overconfident for the finish. And since then, he's looked better. I know Slava Claus is not the most highly rated win to have, but good striker for sure.
Fucking dangerous hands, bro.
Right.
Slava's got some shots, dude.
Right. I think so, man. I think Tom Nolan can get this thing against Campbell, who's going to be coming at him aggressive, man. Campbell throws hard bombs, and he definitely's got some speed too, but I think Nolan's more accurate to the target, more well-versed.
I think it's a problem that he hasn't fought in over a year. You know, that's an issue. And so, you know, you could have power, but you got to be able to deliver that package, right? I might have something great for you, but I got to get it to your house. Right. I don't think he'll be able to deliver that, man. I think you're seeing an in-season guy versus an out-of-season guy. You're seeing a full camp versus a short camp. I think that stuff matters. I'm going Tom Nolan.
Let's go. Tom Nolan for the dub, the pick for me, the pick for the Finch. I think he's getting his hand raised. I don't think it's crazy if he stopped him. KO win is plus 210. Submissions all the way up at plus 900. I definitely lean towards a KO if there's a finish, especially with Campbell's violence first style. You could get caught by something big. Nolan's got power, man.
Sure. I mean, they both do, you know, and when somebody misses big like Campbell does, you can counter them. So, you know, let's say Tom Nolan could put some combinations together, especially start running away with it late.
Let's go. Tom Nolan for the dub for me, for the Finch, man. Let's get to the big boys. Heavyweights going after it. Hella heavyweights. 265 plus for these savages. We got Justin Tafa versus Louis Sutherland. Sutherland making his UFC debut, and this is a big chance for him. Now, one thing I liked about Sutherland is he seems to be more patient than you'd expect just looking at him. He can kickbox from distance, attack the legs, time his blitzes, control against the cage, land some takedowns. Does have the knockout ability. Of course, at 265 pounds, he's going to have heavy hands. But I also think you look at the Tafa team. I mean, they're terrible at grappling. And Sutherland with a capable stand-up game. I could see him out kickboxing Tafa, mixing in some takedowns too, getting this fight to the mat. Sutherland has fought in PFL and Bellator. He's 1-1 in PFL, 0-1 in Bellator. Now he's on this 4-fight win streak, getting the big chance in the UFC. I think he could catch Tafa on the feet, but something tells me we could end up seeing a little bit of the ground skills of Sutherland. Take Tafa down, control him, beat him up from top position. I really think Sutherland is just a technically superior fighter. Of course, you run the risk of getting chinned by a heavy-handed guy like Tafa, but to give some respect, Sutherland seems like he's got a good chin, never been knocked out as a pro before, even in his losses. And I think he can be sound defensively and counter-strike into clinch, into control, into takedown. And Tafa on his back with a 265-pounder on top of him, that worries me. I'm going to go Sutherland for the dubs, Mike Finch.
Yeah, man. I don't know how I could pick a Tafa brother, even the better of the two. I don't even know how I could pick a Tafa brother again. He made me think Ellison Teixeira was decent. You know what I mean?
He thought he was a world beater. Shit.
he made him look good as fuck. You know? Yeah, Tafa's got that or that. That's it, man. You know, the Tafa brothers, as you said, bankrupt on the ground. There's nothing in the vault. You know, the Tafa brothers, when they're on their back, they make me like I'm fucking coaching from home and shit. Hip escape, post, technical stand up, frame. You know, it's bad. And you're talking about a big aggressive dude. You know, I did my tape study on Sutherland. He does loop his shit a little bit. Like when he gets aggressive, he starts coming downhill. You can imagine him getting countered by good heavyweights. I don't know why I thought of Junior Dos Santos in his prime, whipping some fast shots in there against Sutherland. Like he comes in and he's got a big old head and he's moving in a not a finesse way. However, I like him in the clinch here. I like his takedowns if he can get a takedown. I think even at range, he's got a threat for Tafa. You know what I mean? Tafa might get his nose broke. Like Tafa, he's got that big old block head. But, you know, I think Sutherland has a lot more to offer. It is, you know, it is a UFC debut. The Vanilla Gorilla, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, Vanilla Gorilla.
The Vanilla Gorilla making his UFC debut, but at least he's already fought 2-3 times in 2025. I do appreciate the activity. And Justin Tafa's last two outings, the loss to Teixeira and Carl Williams, he looked bad. So I gotta just trust my eyes with the performance and just imagine he'll have a good UFC debut. As usual, UFC debuts infamously go bad against the Tafa brother at heavyweight, I think that's how they go right.
Yeah, I think so too. Sutherland for the dubs makes sense to me. He's an underdog here, Mike Finch. Currently, he is sitting at the line of -105, so close money dog. I couldn't pick a Tafa, man. You know, when you look and say, oh, well, Sutherland's opposition, this guy's 4-1, this guy's 3-2, this guy's 5-7, this guy's 9-5. But I'm not sure Tafa's beating those guys, you know?
Exactly. That's Tafa.
That's the truth of it. Like, if you really look at Justin Tafa, you take away UFC next to his name, his biggest win as a professional is maybe Austin Lane, Parker Porter,
who's also got a big holes in his game. Tafa's 7-5.
7-5, knocked out by Jorgen De Castro in the debut years ago. Losses to Carlos Felipe, close decision though. Jared Vandera kickboxed him up. Yeah, man. I think Sutherland gets it done. He could pull a Vandera and just kickbox him up. He's got the size advantage. Justin Tafa standing 6 foot. Sutherland 6'3", 2-inch reach advantage to go alongside of it. I just think Sutherland's better, man. Tafa's he's got the Samoan hype, right? He's
that's
Mark Hunt kind of the hype from the Mark Hunt era into the Tai Tuivasa, into the Tafa, but there has not really been a high-level Samoan guy like that at heavyweight since Mark Hunt, really. I mean, Tai Tuivasa, yes, as well. Tai and him, that's it. Tafa, it's like he has the leftover hype because of that. That's why you see him on a main card. Obviously, power hitter. We love the striking style with violence, but just because we love the style, we ain't going to pick it against a guy that seems like he can mix it up.
Exactly, man. He's a bull, bro. Sutherland comes forward, man. He just he comes forward and gets into that clinch. I think him clinching Tafa up, Tafa's just not, you know, Tafa's he's gonna make you roll the dice when you exchange with him. That's it. You know, I don't think that's enough, man. I gotta go with Sutherland, especially if he gets on top, bro. Jesus Christ. If Tafa slips on a banana peel in any fight, like, it's bad. You know what I mean? It's bad, bro. You could put a lot of MMA fighters on top of Tafa, say go, and they're gonna finish that fight in 5 minutes. You know?
Yeah, sure.
So Sutherland, who's got, bro, by the way, didn't even bring this up. His ground and pound is lethal. Sutherland, when he hits you on the ground, he is not fucking around. You know, some of these people throw the Brock Lesnar, Randy Couture shots. Yeah, Sutherland's gonna fucking put his fist through your head. So if Tafa ends up on bottom, he's getting an elbow to the dome quickly. It'll be over. I do imagine a finish, no matter who wins this fight.
Let's go. Sutherland KO ground and pound seems sensible on my side, but he may just embrace the smother if need be. We could see 3 rounds of him beating Tafa up from top position. I wouldn't be shocked by it, actually.
Yeah, I mean, right now the under 1.5 is plus 114. You think he hangs out? That's not what I saw. That's not what I saw. Unless he's really trying to, hey, my coach has told me I got to energy management. I got to take my time.
I know.
What I saw in his footage is he wants to get people out of there when he can.
He does. He definitely wants to get people out. He's violence for sure, but he could go distance. Like, I could see a tactical Sutherland. But definitely a good chance that he lands big. And if they're on the ground and he's on top, I think Tafa is getting pounded on.
I think so. I think you're parked underneath Sutherland. That does not look like a good place to be. So Tafa's got an obvious game plan, box and takedown defense. But, you know, how many times are we going to see that not work with his brother? I think with him, you know, yeah, it's gonna be a minute before I pick a Tafa. You know, you're really gonna have to show me something. You know.
Yeah, agreed. We're going Sutherland. We're going for the slight dog. We're going for UFC debut, Scottish debut. They just lost Paul Craig. Well, welcome Louis Sutherland into the UFC. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Jake Matthews versus Neil Magny. I'm picking Jake Matthews to win. I really think he's starting to put things together nicely. Now, I don't love how wide of a favorite he is in this spot. And I see that, you know, the underdog chase of Magny doesn't feel crazy. Seeing Magny's got real long-term cardio. You know, he's got 3 rounds and he's ready to go for it. He's got his most recent wins are comeback wins. The thing about Jake Matthews that I like is he's gone the 3 rounds before. He's not a guy that necessarily relies on finishes, and he doesn't overshoot for the finish. If you look, I mean, Jake Matthews has, as of recent, 2 of his last 5 are wins by decision. But of the last 3, 2 decisions, did quickly get Chidi Bang Bang out of there. I like Jake Matthews' hands a lot. I think in close range, he's got pretty good accuracy with his hooks, and he rips his shots pretty nicely and sits on them pretty well. But also on top of that, I think he can kind of do everything fairly well at this point. It seems to have hit his stride as far as, becoming a potential top 15 threat. That Matt Semmelsberger fucking loss is a stain on his record for sure, but he did fight Semmelsberger when Semmelsberger was kind of streaking. And then as of recent, I mean, 3 straight wins, and you got to give respect to him beating Phil Rowe in the way that he did. He beat Phil Rowe in a boxing heavy fight, and Phil Rowe's a good boxer. You look at Magny, he was clinch fucking Phil Rowe, and still I thought Phil Rowe could have got that decision. It was a split decision. I thought Phil could have won. I think that Jake Matthews can beat this version of Neil Magny. I think that he can outstrike him. I think he can land 3-4 punch combinations in range. I think he could hurt Magny potentially. And if he doesn't gas out, he's probably good to go. Now, Magny, 3rd round comeback. That's what he's, coming back second, I guess, with Zaleski. But against Mike Malott, 3rd round, if you're getting handled in the first 2, it's possible. But I think Jake Matthews should win.
With the Zaleski thing, it's like Neil Magny got on top of Zaleski, and Zaleski's just soul left his body. You know what I mean? He was down there like, fuck it. He got me. Like, what, bro? What are you doing down here? Magny, that was a strange one. I think Zaleski says more about Zaleski than it does Magny. As to where here, look at what Jake Matthews just did to Chini Njokuani. I mean, here I'm thinking that's going to be a great fight. Chini's a great kickboxer. Fucking Jake Matthews ran fucking through him. So is he going to have trouble on the ground? I don't think so. I like the Prades W for Jake Matthews. I think he's on a roll right now. I do think he's going to put on an impressive performance against the aging Neil Magny. This is the type of fight that's tough for a Neil Magny. A guy he can't just school it with grappling. He just doesn't have like way deeper grappling knowledge or something. Jake Matthews looks impressive to me, man. I think he looks good out there. I think he gets Neil Magny out of there.
I think a knockout's live too. And let's be fair, Jake Matthews has been in the UFC forever, bro. Holy shit. Made his UFC debut back in 2014 as fucking child, man. He was 19 years old, right? So that's pretty wild. He's been in the UFC forever. Yeah, man. He was on the Ultimate Fighter at like 18, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
Wow. Respect. Yeah, grew up in the UFC, 31 years old in his prime. He looks fucking great, dude.
Better than ever.
I think Matthew's stock is going like this.
Yeah, agreed, man. I think that he's one of those guys that got to the UFC maybe a bit early, but he still was able to find some footing and become prime potential top 15 threat. And minus 405, the favorite status is wide. I'd prefer minus 205. But you look at Magny's wins. Look at the last 3. Phil Rowe, I thought could have got it, but just barely beats Phil Rowe. And then he loses to, a couple of the bunch badly as of recent, but whatever. And then you look at it the next with Mike Malott W. Okay, but he's losing majority of the fight, and then he breaks Malott in round 3. Zaleski's fucking him up, and Zaleski seems well past it and then quit like Finch said. He just gave up, and then Magny stops him. Matthews is not quitting if you're on top of him. Exactly. So even if Magny wins a round, I don't think he gets a TKO. Well, Matthews.
Exactly, man. Yeah. Neil Magny, solid ground game. So when he puts you in bad positions, you can't panic, right?
No.
But he gets put out by prospects, Michael Morales, Carlos Prates, albeit he was fed to them. But Jake Matthews is fucking, I think he's on one right now. I think he's going to be just as dangerous, to be honest. I think Jake Matthews versus Carlos Prates is actually dope. Jake Matthews, I think getting him out of there. I see the chat arguing about the body types. Yeah, very, very similar body type, Chidi Njokuani and Neil Magny. So I think he'll have I think he's going to get him out of there in the first, honestly.
Shit, I respect that. And if you look, Michael Morales, Matthews gave Morales a decent scrap for 3 rounds. Whereas, Magny got absolutely fucking destroyed.
Evaporated. Yeah. We got to go Matthews here.
Yeah, Matthews for the W. I think he gets it done. 4-1 line is what it is. Likelihood of success seems very high, especially too for Matthews at home in Australia. Did you know that Jake Matthews is Muslim?
What?
Yeah. It was one of the things before his last fight that I don't think I knew, and I was like, wow, really? Yeah.
Wow. No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah. I wonder what the story is there. Okay. Interesting.
Listen, working for him now. 3 straight wins. I think he's coming up on 4.
I've said it before, man. The Muslims who pray multiple times a day and you get on your knees and you get on the ground, you have that moment with yourself. You know, there's something powerful about focused meditative moments. And so if religion's what brings that to you, I think it's great mind work.
Let's go. Jake Matthews for the dub. The pick for me, the pick for the Finch. Let's keep going. Featured fight of the night up next is a damn good one. Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Taveras. Finch, I'll let you give your take on this one first before I talk.
It's a fight. It's a fight. Here, bust him. Here, bust him. This is a good fight, man. You know, I told my buddy Kevin today, he's like, Taveras is a fucking bum. Jenkins all day. Bro, Jenkins on the ground is a bum. You know? On the ground, he's a fucking bum. Who did he get smoked? That Brazilian he got smoked by? Santos?
I mean, he did drop him with the head kick in round 1, though.
Yes, he almost put him out.
That was scary as fuck because I was confident.
He pretty much knocked him out. Gabriel Santos, that's right. Brother, did he have trouble on the ground? I think I wrote some notes on it. Let me go see here. Here we go. So Jenkins almost KO'd Santos in the first round, but then showed really poor submission defense as he got caught in a triangle and circled the wrong way. That's right. So he gets caught. I literally just taught a triangle today, so I'm extra pissed off about this. He gets caught in a triangle, AJ. Okay, which way do you circle? Towards the lock or away from the lock? He's like, Mike, please don't ask me this right now.
I'm going towards the lock. I'm picking him up.
Going towards the fucking lock, right?
I'm picking up. That's
because
it.
when you go towards the lock, look what happens from the distance between. Because when you do a triangle, the leg is cutting off this artery, and your own pec is cutting off this artery, your own shoulder.
Yeah.
So watch what happens when I circle away. Look at the distance. It opens up. Watch what happens when I circle the other way. Oh my God, it's closing off. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Okay, he wanted to die. He didn't know which way to circle.
He wanted to pick him up, maybe. You know?
I think he thought he was Rampage. I think he did the knee in the butt thing where you pull out. So, you know, he did get out of that only to get strangled next, right? As a rear naked. Yeah, it was a rear naked strangle. So, that was bad. And then the rear naked strangle was like completely undefended. You know, it's like when you're playing chess and you just leave your fucking king out there all alone. You know, what are you doing? So, I'm not impressed by the ground game. That's a big fucking problem. And if Taveras is not a grappler, obviously, but you know, if he finds a moment to exploit that, maybe he could. Maybe he's a little bit better than Jenkins with his jiu-jitsu. Doesn't seem like that high of a bar. And then Taveras, you know, solid striker. I think he's gonna give him a run for his money on the feet too. On the feet, you got to think Jenkins. Jenkins. He's got speed. He's got solid kickboxing. I do see him put, like you said, he knocked out Santos essentially in that first round. His head kicks are nasty. His hands are fast. He's talented on the feet for sure. But who's he fighting? Herbert Burns, right? I kind of see this as a trap. I don't really know which way to go, but I do know that I see a lot of people who are like slamming Jenkins, and I think they're making a mistake. I do think this is a fight. I think Taveras is in this thing. Fuck. I always got to pick. Fuck.
You got to make a pick. You want me to talk first?
You're gonna convince me. You're gonna fucking convince me of Jenkins. You're gonna do. Okay, so no, I don't want you to fucking talk. I want to make this pick first, so I don't flip on it. 3-1 dog. He's a 3-1 dog to Jenkins. Man, it's gonna piss me off if I fuck this one up. I'm gonna go with Jenkins because of the striking advantage and range and whatnot. But would I bet on him at 3-1? Fuck no.
I think that when I look at Taveras, I see good boxing. He can mix it up nicely with his hands. He's got some power. He's got some combos. He's got some hand speed. Reminds me of Masvidal, like a little mini Masvidal. That's the vibe I get from him. But when I look at Jenkins, I see nasty kicks to the legs, nasty head kicks too. And I think about Taveras getting caught with a head kick. It wouldn't blow my mind if he gets knocked out by a high kick. When I look at the hand speed, I think Jenkins matches. I think he has more power, especially Taveras coming up to 45 from bantamweight. It's interesting to see that because he had, you know, fight against Davey Grant there, fight against City. I just didn't have it on my bingo card of, he's going to move up to 145, but big chance, and he's taking it here. And to be fair, this is kind of a decent opponent for a debut up in weight because of the frame. Jenkins is one of the shorter featherweights, but my God, like imagine Taveras versus like a Steve Garcia, you know? It's like, what the fuck are we doing? It seems like, you know, bantamweight versus lightweight.
Yeah.
I think about Taveras getting caught. I don't think of Taveras' grappling is all that effective. I see it as Taveras is going to have to box with him, and he's going to have to catch him with a counter shot. Could he do it? Maybe, but I think Jenkins is pretty sound with stand-up. I think he's pretty explosive. And even, you know, you look, he was doing well with Chepe Mariscal before snapping his arm. It's not like he was just getting ran over. Gabriel Santos knocking him down, that's a big fucking deal to me. Gabriel Santos is really good. I think that Taveras is biting off a lot more than he can chew here, and I'm surprised to see him getting a spot like this in Australia up in weight. It really was not a matchup I would have ever predicted to happen, but I'm happy that we're going to see it because I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Taveras is going to come to scrap, and I'm sure he could have some moments. I could see him landing some big punches in range. His boxing combos are legit. I could see a big shot and close, but I think Jenkins can get to him with a more well-refined kickboxing game, which with threats of the high kicks too. I think Jenkins gets the hand raised here.
Yeah, you know, Ramon Taveras really thrives against people who bang with him, people who stand in front of him and go to war. I think Jenkins probably won't, but I think he's overrated, AJ.
I don't think Jenkins is a world beater. I think Jenkins is pretty good. He's 1-2 in his last 3, 3-1, or no, rather 3-2 rather in the UFC. I mean, he beat Jamal Emmers, and Jamal Emmers can box a bit. He won a decision there. He's not the chosen one from Australia, and he definitely doesn't have a ton of hype, but is Ramon Taveras jumping up in weight, coming off the loss to Davey Grant, gonna beat him. Even the city win, man, that was a bad decision, to be honest with you. It was close, but I don't know, man. I think Jack Jenkins can do it here. He's a big favorite, but I'm gonna go with him. Looking at the odds, are you willing to pay the -280 price? Maybe not. +240 for Taveras. The big argument I have, if you are going Taveras, is like, okay, but what's the signature win where you're like, yeah, that tells me he can pull through? This would have to be it. A big punch lands. He shows his power. Or, bro, at 145, maybe Taveras is a fucking animal. Like, we saw Masvidal from 55 to 70. He starts shitting people.
Come on, AJ. Come on, AJ. Come on,
Jenkins, but, you know, I like to have the pondering of what if. And would it not be a badass moment if Taveras chin Jenkins at home in Australia? You know, like, it'd be pretty cool, but I think the Jenkins pulls through.
Yeah, my boy Kevin thought I was crazy. He's like, what? Taveras sucks. I'm like, oh, shit. All right. Fuck. He's got heavy hands, and
his legs are getting chopped up. That's what's going to happen. That's the issue. His legs are getting chopped up.
I think so. You know, but there's so many good, you know, I'll let you guys in on a little bit of my own betting thoughts on this card. So many better bets on this card to make than fucking taking a risk on Jenkins. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I will say, though, it is interesting, though, because southpaw, it's a lot harder to work that calf kick with the southpaw. So, you know, you could argue, hey, Taveras southpaw could catch him. Maybe Jenkins is not prepared for that. Like, I do understand the considerations. It's tricky for me because I like to follow the philosophy that you always say, believe in things based on evidence. But there does at times have to also be a bit of intuition. And if you're feeling that Taveras can catch him with a big counter, maybe like the boxing, I'm not trying to say don't do it if you feel like you have the vision. But, you know, 7 times out of 10, I think Jenkins wins. Maybe a couple of those Taveras gets a big upset knockout. Maybe one of them he gets a split decision, but favors Jenkins from my side.
I mean, another way to find things that are true is to reason from first principles. So you start with what is most fundamentally true and work from there. That's why I started with, hey, Jenkins got caught in a triangle and he looked like a white belt who didn't know what to do. You know, I'm giving you concrete examples of being like, this is a red flag to me, right? His striking is smooth, his striking is nice, but you're right. The orthodox southpaw matchup takes away the rear kick. Forgot I was saying that earlier today, giving a better pitch to my boy Kevin than I am to the fucking show. You know, so all those things in my mind make this fight interesting. And you know, if there wasn't already like a couple dogs that I liked, perhaps I'd look at betting on Taveras. To be honest, I have not.
Let's go. Fair take from the Finchmeister. If you want to go Taveras by KO, it's plus 850.
He better not win now, because I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be fucking if I fucking went with Jenkins and Taveras wins.
I know. I'd be pissed too. We shall see. The pick,
3-1?
Jenkins. Good fight. Good fight. Fun fight. You ready for the co-main event?
Let's go.
We got Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Erslan. I like this matchup a lot. Now, I predicted Jimmy Crute to get the win in the spot, and I see Finch doing the Vanderlei Silva. He's going Erslan. I have a feeling. What I said, though, is this is a fight that I like the live betting idea. See how Erslan responds to the grappling pressure. Maybe after round one, Crute, we've seen him slow down. You can get tuned up. Erslan hits hard. I know if you're just watching UFC and you didn't watch his other fights, you won't know, but he can punch.
Yeah.
He is 3-round shape. I know last fight, but Navo beat his ass. Navo's fucking good, man. He won the 3rd round against Crute Laba, which I think demands some respect. Now, Crute is a better jiu-jitsu practitioner than Crute Laba. I would also say he's probably better at getting fights to the ground and keeping them there than a Crute Laba, but he's probably not as crisp with the hands. Crute's got power, but my God, man, he overthrows shots at times. He's a little heavy-footed. He has a little bit of the pigeon toes effect, and he kind of gets stuck in the mud at times, and you can see him caught with a counter. But I do think Crute can get this fight to the ground. I do think Crute can win the grappling battle. And if he can secure top position, and if he doesn't blow his wad just looking to get Erslan out of there, which I'm not sure if I would bet on him not doing. We've seen that mistake from him in the past. We could see Crute take it home by a later stage submission or even a decision here with a clear-cut grappling advantage. But Crute likes to finish fights, and he likes to push a pace. It's cost him in the past. I'm going to say he beats Erslan, but betting on a big favorite status for Jimmy Crute becomes a dangerous game, though he looked good against Prochnio last time, and I'll pick Crute to win.
It's Prochnio. Prochnio's bankrupt on the ground. Yeah, no, I actually have no confident pick here. I mean, I think it's a really good fight. You know, Erslan did show some of his worth in those losses, you know, but they're still losses. And to Ian Cutelaba, like, dog, you lose in a split decision to Ian Cutelaba. That's not good, you know? And then Jimmy Crute, as you said, he's stuck in the mud almost. He's stuck in the mud almost, yeah. So I think that Crute has capabilities to submit an Erslan on the ground, but his fight IQ is not great, man. You know, he's constantly getting into draws and shit. You know what? No contest. Is that what the fucking
draw with Bellato, draw with Menfield?
Yeah, draws. Yeah, that's how are you getting into like almost back-to-back draws? What he fought Alonzo twice there, lost. You know, so and by the way, I like Jimmy Crute against Rodolfo Bellato, who he was beating. I bet on him, and then he pissed me off by going to a fucking draw. I think I got my money back though. So yeah, I'll pick Jimmy Crute. I'll pick Jimmy Crute here. I'll just say this. I spoke to somebody who bets, and the word down the chain was they're putting money on Erslan. They believe in Erslan. This was like the bet of the card for them. I don't see it. Erslan, he's capable at striking. He's a good striker, but he's not a winner. And you know, he might be able to gut out a 3rd round against Jimmy Crute and get a fucking 3rd draw with Jimmy Crute. I think something like that's more likely than him just like smoking Jimmy Crute, because Jimmy Crute has more ways to win. You know, should he get a takedown in this fight, he could dominate. And you know, Marcin Prochnio, that domination that Crute got might have been just what he needed. You know, so it's a good fight. This is close to a coin flip of a fight, AJ. I do not have a confident call here because I don't think that Crute is reliable, and I don't think Erslan's a winner. Yeah, I'll go Jimmy Crute because he has more ways to win this fight.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Crute does have more ways to win. Erslan's grappling, I'd say, is unproven at this level, and you know, as far as his fight IQ against Cutelaba, he needed a finish, and he was happy to hold top position, which I didn't like. Power is there outside of the UFC, but you know, we can argue. I said it earlier, like outside of the UFC, you don't know what you're gonna get. Sometimes you hit a guy with a big shot, he's like, "Fuck this, I ain't fighting." Inside the UFC, it ain't that common that motherfuckers are going down from a shot and saying, "I'm good." They're like, "No, I want to fucking win. This is my life," you know?
Yeah.
I think Crute has gotten better. You got to look at Crute's age, 29. He's fighting in Australia. he's had a life change, man. He's Christian now, found religion, kind of like we talked about. Same with Jake Matthews. So there's a different confidence he seems to have about himself now. The fight last time against Prochnio, he was dominant, though Prochnio is mid on the ground. I would love to see Prochnio and Erslan fight, to be honest. And I think Erslan might beat him by a decision if they were to fight. So as much as we talk about Erslan got some hands, he also doesn't have great timing. That's something that I don't like. Like, it's like, I'm waiting for it. Like Erslan's debut, I'm waiting for it. Where's the fucking shot? Where is it? He's about to throw. It doesn't come.
Yeah.
I'll pick Crute. I think he's a little more effective. So.
No, that's a good way to put it too. He looks like he's corked up and he can unload something, and he's not able to land it because his timing, his shot selection, there's some issues there still. So Erslan, I gotta see it to believe it, and we've been seeing him lose.
Yeah, let's go Crute for the dubs. As far as the betting side of the fight, it is -175 for Jimmy Crute. He opened up as a -250 favorite. Line has come down. Wow. Erslan +150. Now, do we go over a round and a half, -120?
I told you they're slamming Erslan. They like that dog. Out of this card, you're gonna go Erslan over Crute. I feel like there's, I got a couple dogs I like. So, yeah, let's say Jimmy Crute gets on top at some point and fucking slaps a choke on.
+275. For the sub. Erslan has been submitted once as a pro. It was in the second round. It was in 2020 against Tomaz Narkun, who is actually a fair submission ace, 15 wins by sub. I think that we're going to see Crute probably pull through, but I do like the live betting idea. Like if Crute goes for it in round one, doesn't get it, gas tank dwindles, Erslan maybe starts finding shots towards the end of the round, stops a takedown or two. Maybe you got even money. Maybe you go on Erslan then, but pre-fight, I'm going to go Crute with the Finch. We're on the same side.
We're on the same side, dog. Let's go.
Let's go. We're on the same side in the co-main. We're both going Jimmy Crute. Let's jump to the main event. If you guys are watching and enjoying, hit that damn like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe as well. Got a good fight here. Carlos Ulberg versus Dominic Reyes. The resurgent Dominic Reyes takes on the surging Carlos Ulberg. I love this matchup.
I do too.
I have a feeling that Reyes can live up to it and perform. I will say this. It comes down to, does Reyes fight with the confidence he did in the past? I don't think he's any bit past his athletic prime than he was when he fought Jones. I'd actually argue that he's probably more fine-tuned than he was when he nearly beat John Jones several years ago. The problem is the mental side. He fell apart. He lost 3 straight fights by violent KO. Now, through those fights, there is a net positive. He landed a big shot against Prochazka and hurt him. Not much positives in the Blachowicz or the Spann fight. But ultimately, the recent Reyes has looked nothing short of spectacular. The timing on the left hand has been great. Knockouts after knockouts, destroyed Anthony Smith, started off with the destruction of Dustin Jacoby, and absolutely ended Nikita Krylov's career. Like, he turned Nikita Krylov into a guy just taking fights for a paycheck. I said it leading up to the Gushkov fight. He just taking it for the check. And he did. He just laid down round one. It was over. He had nothing.
Yeah.
Reyes is good, man. And I know Ulberg is a sound kickboxer, technically proficient, good striker from distance, nasty check left hook, good leg attack, good keeps to the body, a good jab as well. But I think Reyes poses a threat out of that southpaw stance. I think Reyes can make it much more of a fight. I see Reyes finding success if he can be more patient. If he is to try and blitz an Ulberg and gets overconfident early, I have to worry about the chin. I have to worry about a check hook. I have to. Look at the way like Menafield tried to blitz him and down he goes. But if Ulberg picks his shots, they're feeling each other out round one, attacking the legs on both sides. I think in boxing range, Reyes has the punch speed advantage. He's a better combination puncher. I would say from long range, Ulberg is the better kicker. I would say that Ulberg has a better jab, as well as I would say Ulberg, as opponents are closing that gap, can land a pretty nice check left hook. But on the flip side, as fighters are aggressive towards Reyes, and if Ulberg overlooks Reyes with extreme confidence and looks to close the gap on him and put a little pressure, maybe people are in his ear, yo, that Blachowicz fight sucked. You were on the back foot the whole time. You got to put Reyes out. Look what Blachowicz did to him. If he's over aggressive, I definitely think that straight left of Ulberg is money. Or rather, of Reyes is money on Ulberg closing the gap. I could see him landing it. Also, another tell is I think in close range, Ulberg likes that Thai plum. I could see Reyes landing punches over the top. I think Dominic Reyes could catch Ulberg with some big shots. I could see a 5-round back and forth. I know it's easy to think Reyes got no chin. He's just getting knocked out, but I don't know if I believe that. I think he just had some, hard times in this fight game. I'm going to go towards Reyes to pull it off. I like him more in 3, 4, and 5 because as the fight wears on, that Ulberg lateral movement and that distance striking style dwindles. And then Reyes more likely catches him in corners, right? Gets him against the cage, is able to rip his signature punch combinations in close range. I'm going Dom Reyes for the upset here. I really believe he's got a fighting chance, whether it's a decision or whether he's landing a knockout. I think there's a real possibility that he puts Ulberg away. I think Ulberg is good. I think Ulberg is technically sound, but I'm not ready to say that it's over for Dom Reyes as far as mixing it up with the top guys. And I look at the stylistic matchup and I see a real chance for him here. If you can push Ulberg a bit in certain moments, not over aggressiveness, he needs to time these blitzes. When he has Ulberg trapped, he needs to press with combos. I could see Dom Reyes shocking him. I could see 5 hard rounds of warfare or a big shot landing. I think Dom Reyes still got the juice. I'm going to say he pulls off the big upset in Australia.
Dominic Reyes came back as a 2-1 dog against Dustin Jacoby, and I was on him. I believed in Dominic Reyes. He smoked Anthony Smith. He smoked Nikita Krylov. He's a good counter puncher. He is a solid fucking boxer, man. He throws good combinations, sits down on his shots, knows how to move his head off the center line. He could definitely throw with anybody. If somebody wants to exchange with him, like a Nikita Krylov, or if somebody wants to come at him and get in a bit of a war, he'll put you out. I mean, Dominic Reyes has really nice hands. He's a big fucking dude. I remember seeing him back in Hoosier Fight Club. Indiana would be that way. I remember seeing him back in Hoosier Fight Club a long time ago when he was the champ there, and then he transitioned to the UFC and went on a great run. As AJ said, got knocked out back to back. Got knocked out by Ryan Spann. I mean, he had a bad run there. Took about 2 years away from the game. Comes back and he's looking really good. So I love that people are giving him his fucking respect. I see a lot of people picking Dominic Reyes here, and I like it. I'm going with Ulberg because I believe that Ulberg is, as you said, a better kicker, more prepared to win rounds than Dominic Reyes is. Dominic Reyes is here to put people out, and he's a good counterpuncher, but I don't think that Ulberg will stand in front of him. I think the footwork advantage for Carlos Ulberg is pretty drastic here. He has more of a bounce. He can move side to side better. He kind of stays on his bicycle, as it's a bit of a Terrence Crawford versus Canelo thing, where Canelo just could not quite get Terrence to just stand in front of him and engage with him. I think Dominic Reyes is going to have the same type of issues here. Carlos Ulberg is nice and quick, nice and loose. Does he get a finish? Maybe, maybe not. I understand the knock on him, especially after that Jan Blachowicz fight where he was clearly just trying to eke out a decision. It sucks to see that, but I think that's more of a strategic conversation than it is a capability conversation. I think if Carlos Ulberg was told, hey, you're going to get $500,000 if you go out there and knock out Jan Blachowicz, I think he could have done it. I think in his head, he's like, my abilities are going to be movement, kicking, not standing in front of this power puncher, Polish power. This is a similar matchup to Jan Blachowicz. You got a guy who's got punching power, big straight right hand, decent lead hook, and you just got to not get caught by his hands. I like Carlos Ulberg here. I like where the fight's taking place. I think it's a great time in his career for this fight, as to where, Dominic Reyes is getting a much different look with a Carlos Ulberg. He's going to be dealing with a mobile guy who's going to have high volume, who's going to be a round winner. And if the judges are going to be biased any which way, it ain't for Dominic Reyes. I'm going to go, let's say decision Carlos Ulberg. He wins 4 out of 5 rounds. But I tell you what, if he wants a title shot, if he wants to make a statement at 205, put Dominic Reyes away. Start sending kicks up high, start sending kicks to that body, start putting right hands behind him. I think he could get Dominic Reyes out of there after accumulating shots. Dominic Reyes, as people have questioned that chin. I think Carlos Ulberg will test it. Give me Carlos Ulberg being the better mobile distance kickboxer than a Dominic Reyes who's going to look for a counter punch that's not there.
What do you think about Ulberg matching up with Reyes, the southpaw, with quick hands here?
Yeah, I think that he's going to have to use movement to not stand in front of him. So I think he could still chew up the body and the head. And then a southpaw, they got that outside lead leg kick. So yeah, I do think that, you know, Reyes being southpaw matters, of course. But you know, you could still be mobile on a southpaw and out kickbox him from range. You know, you don't need that inside leg kick or rather the outside as well, right? Because the outside is going to be his weak side. And Carlos Ulberg could switch stances. City kickboxing, man, I think they're ready for southpaw or orthodox. I think he'll style on him. I think he's going to look good. I think Carlos Ulberg needs to bounce back from that Jan Blachowicz fight. He has essentially what I'm seeing, a very similar opponent in front of him. I do think you guys will see other wrinkles in Carlos Ulberg's game. I think the issue is not that Ulberg can't perform at a higher level. It's that it was a risk management and he decided to be extra not risky. I think against Dominic Reyes, he'll let it go.
You know, of Ulberg's losses, only one is a pro, came to southpaw, Kennedy and Zechiku. So interesting stat. I really think the southpaw stance. I know Poteri is a southpaw, but Poteri is not Reyes level.
Poteri is Poteri, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a fighting chance for a big Dominic Reyes. Matches him in height and reach with power and speed. And in the boxing range, I like that southpaw, man. I'm going to go Reyes. He's a power hitting southpaw. I'm going to lean towards that side. I don't know. I got a feeling. I'm excited, though. I respect the Ulberg side. I get it. The mentality is very sound. It's not like you have some crazy take. It's sensible. I think Resurgent Reyes, the real life Rocky over here in this bitch, man.
Bro, he's got you loving him. He's got you.
I turned back around. I love the comeback story, man. I love a good career turnaround.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, Dominic Reyes is a good dude. He's an exciting fighter. You know, I'm glad the fans got his back. Fuck yeah. And I get, you know, hating on Reyes right now. I get hating on Ulberg right now. I think this fight I think that Ulberg can use his movement to be a pretty damn bad matchup for a Dominic Reyes.
Respect. Odds for the fight. Agree. Minus 260 for Carlos Ulberg. Dominic Reyes plus 220 as the underdog. Over 2.5 rounds sits at plus 130. Ulberg by a decision win, the Finchman's call, plus 450. Reyes by a KO, plus 350. And then Reyes by a decision sits all the way up at plus 650. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the bookies got this thing right. You think they're tripping?
No, I think the odds make sense. For Ulberg, regardless of lack of entertainment value with a Blachowicz win, it's a massive W. And, you know, I still think there's respect on his striking name. I think Ulberg could be the surprise, or rather Reyes could be the surprise for Ulberg in this one. We'll see, Finch.
Reyes matches up well with Blachowicz. I think that's fun, right? Run that back, right?
We'll see what happens here. I think it all comes down to this, man. If Reyes loses, the title dreams are dead. But with a win, I mean, I think you sell it. 35.
Yeah, come on. Dead at fucking light heavyweight, bro. By the time he's 37, he could be on another 3-fight streak.
Yeah, but it's a long climb back. I don't know, man.
How old is Alex
only
Pereira?
takes so much. He's 51. Alex Pereira is going to lose. He ain't the champ anymore.
38. You know what I mean? So at 37, he was the champ.
That's fair. We'll see.
So Dominic Reyes has miles on him, though. I mean, people are not bringing up the fact that Dominic Reyes was known as being chinny. People are like, oh, that chin's gone. That chin's never going to come back, right? Don't make me pull up an old fucking Moneyline quote where you ripping.
I thought it. I was wrong. I'll take it on the chin. I know.
You know, as to where if Ulberg can hit it with something, he's a big boy. I mean, you don't have to have insane one-punch knockout power to set somebody's brain off. So Ulberg's gonna, I think, give him a good run for his money here with a potential finish too. I know people are like, oh, he's fucking boring. He's gonna move side to side. Yeah, he's smart, you know. It was very similar the way people break down that Joe Pyfer Kelvin Gastelum fight. They're like, man, Kelvin started coming back. Yeah, because Joe Pyfer laid off the gas. I think we're talking strategy, not capability. Ulberg, if he wants to, could get Dominic Reyes out of here. I believe that.
Let's go. We shall see. Finchman going Ulberg. I'm going Reyes. We're split in the main event. We got a damn good fight. And we're not done yet, Finch. We got to talk some parlays. You ready for this shit, my friend?
Let's go.
Let's get it.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah, parlay time. How could I not go with Jake Matthews? He's fighting Neil Magny on Saturday night. Yeah, I would say number one on this whole motherfucking card. How the fuck is Neil Magny gonna beat Jake Matthews? I don't think it's happening. Too seasoned, too ready to rock, just in his prime right now, really showing it. I think Jake Matthews is gonna style on Neil Magny.
Jake Matthews, good confident pick. I think you're onto something there. I am going to call Navajo Stirling up as my call tonight. I think that's the money lineup. You got minus 135 around that range if you're looking to play the two of them, which I think ain't too shabby.
I think
minus 128 and better value. Close money parlay. I think that two-legger's on some shit, man.
Come on, folks. Y'all know what it is. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Two good strikers, you know, with Navajo, I think he could just style on him on the outside, probably gets him out of there. And you kind of say the same thing about Matthews. He's fighting a 38-year-old Neil Magny. I don't think Neil Magny is going to have some Mike Malott moment. Yeah, that's a nice parlay.
Let's go, Finch, man. Listen, to the people watching, you got two things you got to watch tonight. My Contender Series picks,
do it
live now in the description. You can check them out. If you haven't seen them, you should definitely watch. Also, this guy is going live here momentarily to do the most confident picks. He's ready to drop some bangers. I'm excited to see what you got this week, Mike Finch. I'm curious to see where the confidence lines up. We agree on a good amount of the card, and I'm curious to see where your head's at with these high confidence calls.
I've been on a crazy 4 out of 5 most confident picks. I give out 5 most confident picks, and over the past couple months, people just got to figure out which one's the dud. You know what I mean? Because 4 out of 5 been hitting. Let's go 5 out of 5, guys. Let's go.
Let's go. Clean sweep for the Finch incoming. Guys, we hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you guys support the channel. Hit the like button. Run it up. It helps us out. Make sure you subscribe. I'll be live for lunchtime tomorrow afternoon, so definitely come hang out. And I'll be live for the Contender Series tomorrow evening. So a lot of content from me. Finch, man, will be live. Your night's not done yet. It's still young. You guys got to watch the Finch. You might have to watch my Contender Series picks. There's lots to do. All right? So keep it locked in. If you're East Coast time, maybe you're staying up late. If not, you'll catch us on the replay in the morning. We appreciate you all. Finch, any final words for the folks?
Hey, I'm dropping the bet tonight. Fuck, do I fuck around and go with some of these underdogs? I've already got 2 bets that I like a lot that I've already placed. And I'll be dropping those tonight in premium channel DM at Mike Finch Show on Instagram. If you want to see who I'm betting on, I will be back to work. It's back to the grind. AJ got what? We got 2.5 fucking months of straight events. Let's go. So I'll be dropping most confident picks every Monday. My full card predictions every Friday after weigh-ins. Generally weigh-ins, some shit goes down, right? Patricio Pitbull losing his fight last time. I mean, you know, some shit's going to go down. So come see me over in the dark side of the force. All right. YouTube.com/Mike Finch. AJ already put it in the chat. And as usual, stick with AJ. He's got content for you motherfuckers all week. I work hard, but nobody works harder than AJ DeVito.
My guy. W to the people. W to the Finch. We'll see you guys in the next one. Much love. Peace out.